Vickie Griffith here with Breakthrough, as it says. Isn't that awesome? I am actually working out of my studio this morning and playing around with it. So those of you that are joining me, I appreciate you being here today for this trial run through the studio. I do have comments on, and so you can comment to me, let me know that you're here. I'd appreciate that. And it is the time of this recording, a Monday morning, so we're all kind of getting back into our work day, and whether you're working from home or if you're going into work, getting things around, getting things done. And it's been a really busy morning for me, so I'm sure it has been for all of you as well. I invite you to take a deep breath in and breathe in. Think about something that is amazing, you're grateful for, something that happened perhaps over the weekend or last night. You're watching this at another time, sometime during the day. Someone said something kind to you, something in your room that you love that's beautiful. You can look around your space, whether it's your apartment or if you have the ability to look outside in your neighborhood and listen to what's going on. You can probably hear an apartment. You can hear the people around you. If you're in your neighborhood, you can hear the movement of people around, driving. You can hear the movement of birds perhaps singing. You might be able to watch it. I am out in my little ranch that we have here, and the birds are singing as they normally are. It is a pretty cool morning, which I'm grateful for, and the dogs are knocking on the door. That means they want in. They just have to wait for a few minutes. So welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be chatting with you about the 4 excuses that you're using, at least one of them, to stay fat. These 4 excuses I hear all the time, over and over and over again. I'm going to tell you what they mean. So if you hear yourself saying this, whether it's around starting a program of some kind, whether it's for your business or for your personal development or weight loss, whether it's something in your life, whether you are purchasing a car or groceries or whatever it may be, these run through your life and they're controlling your life until you recognize them and begin to manage them perhaps, or even release them, because they're deep-seated beliefs, sometimes for generations. Yeah, it's true. We harbor without knowing, and sometimes without even knowing the generations before us, the truth about the belief system. The silliest example is when I read from a book many years ago, and I can't even tell you the title of the book, that it said this woman would cut off the ends of a whole ham before she put it in the oven. And then she stopped to realize why and wonder, why is she doing that? Why is that something that she's doing? And as she started connecting with her mother and grandmother and aunts who all did it too, what she actually found out is at one point when my great grandma was making a holiday dinner, she would cut off the ends of the ham because the oven was too small. Sorry about that. I had some little coffee here this morning. And so that generational trait kept moving through until it stopped at her, because she was like, well, why are we doing this? At this point, our ovens are fairly nice size, and so we don't have to cut off the ends of the ham. So that's one example that is really, really silly, but that's how we operate our lives. And so let's go into the 4 excuses. One is we need to check in with someone else. And granted, if it's a large purchase and you are in a relationship, maybe you have a spouse or a partner, you might have an agreement that you don't purchase anything over a certain amount without chatting with each other. However, if it's for your own personal development, if it's for your own business, it's your decision. You can say to them, this is what I'm going to do, rather than asking permission. So check in with yourself. Is it that you're asking permission, or are you actually saying, this is what I'm going to do? If you are really wanting to release weight, your spouse, as far as the investment for that, might have some questions, of course. That makes sense, but really it's up to you. It's your decision. And stop using that as an excuse to stay fat. I see that over and over and over again. The next one is, it's not the right time. So that one is kind of connected to the other one, which is timing. So it's not the right time. I don't have the time, and timing is something's happened. So I don't have the time. I don't have the time to, so using weight loss as an example, I don't have the time to plan the meals. I don't have the time to prepare the meals. I don't have the time to think about the meals. I don't have the time to, I am just so busy. I just don't know how I'm going to get this in my day. What you're really saying is you're not important enough. What you're saying is you're not valuable enough. And now let that sink in. The time is actually your master, and you're perhaps the slave too. And I don't know how to put that any other way. That you are using that as an excuse to stay fat, using that excuse to stay broke. You're using that excuse for every other reason in the book that you're using, perhaps. And you might be using a couple of these as excuses to not move forward. You might be just using one. You might see that one of these are more common. But you don't have enough time. You don't have enough time in your day to take care of yourself. Many of the clients who use this are caretakers, so they are caring for others. Very strenuous, very difficult, and is very time consuming, but yet they keep putting themselves on the back burner. It is keeping you fat. Timing is blaming it on someone else because you don't have the time. Again, it comes back to self-worth and self-value. Blaming it on someone else. So it could be your spouse. My spouse won't want to eat those foods. Fine. Doesn't have to. You make an arrangement that either they make their own food or you create something extra. Like for my clients that are doing the whole low carb, it's pretty easy to add a potato or some rice or something for that person who doesn't want to give up those things. Easy enough to do. But yet you're going to blame it on someone else because you are afraid of getting thin. You are afraid of growing your business. You are afraid of the new career or the next level of your career. Now, people who are single often blame it on an animal that they have, a pet. And I get it. We are a pet family as well, and we have two that we cater after. And I get it when they're a little older, so there's often unexpected trips to the vet. There are often unexpected procedures that need to be done. It's not your pet's fault that they're feeling the way they are and that you want to stay fat. It's not their fault. Stop blaming them. Again, and then it might go that I just don't have enough time. So it's first blaming someone else, or it might be a spouse. I had a client once who said, I really want to go on this really strict program, and he was competing in bodybuilding, and he wanted the strict program, but he worked all day long and had his own gym, as a matter of fact, and so he's there more than 8 hours, and it would put a burden on his wife to help him. And when he asked, she said, of course I will help support you, even though she had 3 kids under the age of 5 at home. So a lot of times our spouses are really willing to take extra effort to do whatever's going to make you feel the best about you, because they love you enough that they want you to feel the best about you. And so blaming it on someone else to stall any program or weight release or whatever it is that you're thinking about, that excuse is because you haven't learned how to ask. You're not valuable enough to ask. You're not worthy enough to ask. And this is a deep-seated belief system. And so asking is part of the equation. If, again, you're saying, this is what I really want to do, this is how my meals are, and this is how it's going to affect you, and let's figure out a way so that you feel satisfied and comfortable, they might actually want to jump into the program with you and eat the same way you do. You're not sure because you've never asked. So stop blaming the stalling, the being stuck on someone else. It even could be a coworker. It could be your boss isn't going to like it because whatever reason, it's flimsy. You haven't asked and you don't feel valuable enough or worthy enough to ask or even just make a decision about yourself. The number one that I hear often, all the time, is I can't afford it. Now, I am very empathetic about what's going on right now. A lot of people are unemployed, furloughed, laid off, and I get it. I get it. But if you're working with someone who will want to work with somebody who is responsible for helping others, you're going to find somebody that's willing to be flexible. It doesn't mean there's discounts. It doesn't mean that we're not going to ask for our value, because these coaches are valuable. Their information, their experience is valuable. And they've studied a lot. It's just like the story of asking a handyman to come in and fix something, and it took 10 minutes because all they needed to do was tighten a screw and charge $200. And they're like, well, you were only here 10 minutes. Yes, but I've been training for this for 35 years. Experience, knowledge, and supporting you is valuable. But the I can't afford it is probably coming up in a lot of other areas in your life, that you're denying yourself something luscious or even delicious that's on your program. Or maybe you're using it, like I hear this quite often too. So in both my dieters, and most dieters have not enough, which is what Can't Afford It is. And so, and one of the things they say to themselves is, I deserve that candy bar, or whatever it might be that's off their program. I deserve it. And they also say that when they're on QVC to the $500 pair of shoes. There's a connection. I can't afford it comes from I'm not enough. There isn't enough. And that affects money, time, love. So pay attention to how you're using these excuses, because you are every single day. Not only when someone chats with me about starting a program with me, it's not just that. Every single day you're using these excuses. Every single day you're saying to yourself, I can't afford it. My partner's not going to like it. It's not the right time. Or it's not I don't have enough time. There's not enough time. Every single day you're using these excuses. Pay attention to that. I have a friend that when I chat with her about something, her first question to me is, how much does it cost? Doesn't matter if it's $20. It doesn't matter if it's $1,200. How much does it cost? That's not only a genetic belief system that she has, got no background. That's her whole, I'm not enough. I'm not enough. Sorry, I froze for a second. So contact me at Vickie Griffith at break-through.org. Let's chat about this. And let's make sure that you are aware of what your excuses are and figure out how to manage through them so that you can become the person you want, whether it's thinner, wealthier, or in the career that you want. So until next time, sending you all love. Bye, everyone.